Hi everyone, it's Maestra Julia, and today we are going to be learning about puberty. Let me tell you, I never in a million years thought I would be teaching about puberty over a computer from my home, but here we are. This topic is so important, and I know many of you have questions about this topic, and you should know the facts. Often when we're curious about something like puberty, we might go online to look up more information, which can lead us to things that maybe we're not ready to see or hear yet. Or we might go to our friends and we might get some misleading information. So today we're going to tackle this topic, and as I know we are all flexible thinkers, we are going to do our best, and I appreciate you being open-minded as well. Now, some of you may have already started hearing about puberty from your parents or from your older brothers or sisters. Some of you might already be going through the beginning stages of puberty. Puberty is something everyone goes through, starting at around your age. And for some, it starts a little earlier. For some, it starts a little later. Whenever it happens is normal and healthy. Now, when we think of puberty, we might be thinking of the physical changes, but many of us are unaware of the emotional and social changes that we go through as well. Now, I want you to know that we're going to be walking through all of these changes today, but I want to forewarn you that there may be some of these words, especially when we're thinking about the physical changes that our bodies go through, that might make you feel a little uncomfortable when you hear them, or maybe a little uncertain or even worried. And I want to assure you that these changes that we go through are normal and healthy and lead us to become our adult selves. Okay, you guys, so we're going to start today with some of the physical changes that you might start to experience as you go through puberty. The first one is for your hips to widen. Now, this happens to girls and can range from subtle to more pronounced. It is completely normal. The next one is muscle growth. Although girls' bodies and muscles develop during puberty, the greatest amount of muscle growth happens to boys. Everyone is different, and even after puberty, some boys may be more or less muscular. The next one is hair texture may change. Not everyone experiences a change in hair quality during puberty, but many people do. Previously straight hair will sometimes become curlier or coarser. Lighter hair may darken. Voice deepens. This is more pronounced in boys, but kids of all genders may experience a deepening of their voice during puberty. Voice cracks. Sometimes kids' voices will deepen dramatically, going from higher to lower. Other times there will be a transition between the two where the voice cracks. This can sound funny, but it usually makes the person feel self-conscious. The cracking is temporary, and the voice will be lower at the other end of it. Sweat starts to smell. Puberty is when we tend to see a big increase in how frequently kids shower or take baths. This is also when a lot of young people start using deodorant. Get acne. During puberty, your body starts producing more oil. The oil and dirt that gets trapped in the pores can lead to pimples or more widespread acne. Pimples can appear on the face or other parts of the body, like the back or shoulders. Weight gain. All young people gain weight during puberty. Sometimes this is due to physical growth. Sometimes this is due to an increase in fat on the body. Both are completely normal. Many young people try to diet to lose weight during this time. And while it's always important to eat healthy food and exercise, a lot of the weight gain during puberty is temporary and evens itself out if you maintain a healthy lifestyle. Menstruation. One of the most dramatic changes a girl's body goes through is menstruating, or getting her period. This is part of the normal monthly cycle where her body is preparing for a possible pregnancy by building up a lining of blood and body tissue in her uterus. Once a month, one of her ovaries releases an ovum, or egg. This is a tiny egg. It's not like a chicken egg. This means her body is preparing for when she is older and may want to get pregnant. If she has unprotected penis-vagina sex after the egg is released, that egg will meet with a sperm and then attach itself to the wall of the uterus. When that happens, she is pregnant. If a girl or woman is not pregnant, the lining in the uterus is no longer needed, so it and the tiny egg leave her body during menstruation or her period. This lasts 5 to 7 days and can be light or heavy. If you have any further questions, make sure you check out the video that's attached below. Wet dreams. When guys' bodies start producing semen, that's the fluid that comes out of their penises that contains sperm, which, as you just heard, can cause a pregnancy if it meets a woman's egg in her uterus. It's normal for the semen to come out while they sleep. This is called a nocturnal emission, or a wet dream. Some guys think that they've wet the bed, but they haven't. It's perfectly normal and will happen less and less frequently as they get older. Get taller. Everyone goes through puberty at different rates. This is totally normal. How tall you will be is determined a lot by genes, or whether your biological family members were tall or short, or somewhere in between. Grow breasts. It is normal for one breast to be slightly larger than the other. Girls typically develop breasts. Some boys, however, may temporarily develop breasts. This is called gynecomastia, and it can be very embarrassing and sensitive to boys. A lot of teasing and bullying can take place when this happens, which is completely inappropriate and wrong. Breast growth among boys usually goes away by itself. Growing hair under your arms, on legs, or around genitals. For people with darker hair, this hair growth may be more pronounced. Some people choose to shave this hair, whether it's on the face, legs, under the arms, or elsewhere. There is no medical reason to shave. It is only about personal preference. If shaving anywhere near your genitals, it is really important to be extra careful. And when I say genitals, I mean for males, the penis and testicles, and for females, the vagina. Spontaneous erections. When penises stand up by themselves, it's called an erection. This has been happening since infancy and is totally normal. Infancy means since you were a baby. But during puberty and beyond, it can happen more often and can become more noticeable. Also, the erections can last longer. During puberty, erections can happen out of nowhere or spontaneously. They don't even have to be thinking about or looking at anything in particular. While this can be embarrassing, they also tend to go away on their own after a short period. The final physical change we're going to be talking about is that hormones are raging. Hormones are the natural chemicals found in our bodies. We all have them, whether we are kids or adults. Hormones are responsible for all of the physical changes in puberty, as well as some of the emotional ones. During puberty, they're present at really high levels, but they even out a bit once puberty is done. Now let's talk about some of the emotional changes that you might experience during puberty. Now, remember those hormones? Now, the hormones that are responsible for all those physical changes might also lead to what we call mood swings. Mood swings might be when you feel great one minute and then you might feel angry or sad the next. You guys, during puberty, you might be experiencing some intense feelings, and that is totally normal. While you're experiencing all these physical changes and intense feelings, you might notice that you have an increase in anxiety or stress, kind of wondering what is happening to my body, what is going on, just trying to figure everything out. You also might start thinking, who am I? You're starting to try to define yourself as a person, and that's a big question to be figuring out when you're already experiencing so many changes. And part of this identity is that you might start having a hard time making up your mind, feeling unsure. Just be patient with yourself, listen to your heart, listen to your gut, listen to your brain, and make sure that you find someone that you can talk through all these changes with. To end today, we're going to start looking at some of the social changes that you go through during puberty. Now, during puberty, you might find that you're more interested in being with friends than with family. And speaking of family, you may find that you have more conflict with your caregivers, maybe getting into more arguments with your family or parents as you're trying to figure out who you are and negotiate all of these changes in your social life and your emotions and your body. It's a lot to take on, and you might feel like your family is kind of in your space when you kind of want some time and space for yourself. Just try to remember that your caregivers love you, and try to treat them kindly and communicate. Just let them know, saying, I'm going through a lot right now. Could we talk later? Or I really am trying to figure this out. I still love you. I just need a little space. Remember that they're here for you. Now, as for your friends, during this time,
peer pressure tends to increase. Now, yesterday you all learned a little bit about red flags and green flag situations. Well, sometimes your peers, who are your classmates or friends, might start to pressure you to do things that you don't quite feel are right. As always, I would say listen to your gut. Many of us start to make decisions that don't match how we really feel inside because we're trying to impress someone else or to fit in or be cool. And you might feel that pressure during this time. Now, the best advice I can give you around this time is for you to surround yourself with friends that actually make you feel accepted just the way you are. A lot of times we spend so much energy and time trying to impress people who are our peers because we lack the confidence that we need. And really, I hope you all can find a group of friends that just make you feel confident in being who you are and knowing that whoever you are is enough, that make you laugh and feel good about yourself instead of constantly doubting yourself and feeling like you're having to make decisions that don't really feel like you. Be confident in your own decision making and listen to your gut. And if it doesn't match, get the heck out of there. During this time, you may also want to try to do more and riskier things, like riding a skateboard without a helmet, or going out in the snow without a jacket. And that might be because we're trying to impress someone with our choices. Just remember to be safe and listen to your gut. And speaking of friends, you might start to become more interested in others as more than friends, maybe starting to look at romantic relationships and enjoy those feelings. Just remember to be safe and responsible. Now, during this time, with all of these physical and emotional and social changes, we might start to feel self-conscious about how our body looks. Just keep in mind this is totally normal and you are not alone. However you are is beautiful. Try and surround yourself with positive imagery. A lot of times we look around, especially with social media, and we see people's highlight reels of them looking perfect or highly edited. And remember that that's not how they look all the time. Try and surround yourself with friends that lift you up and make you feel confident for who you are. And you're going through a lot of changes right now. Cut yourself some slack. The final social change that you might feel is feeling paranoid, like everyone is looking at you or talking about you. And this always goes back to having someone to talk to. Find a trusted adult that you can share your feelings with, or a friend that you can talk to. They'll help to put things in perspective. More often than not, nobody's looking at or talking about you because they're all going through the exact same thing. They're probably worrying about themselves. I hope hearing this gave you a little comfort.
Now, it could be that after this lesson, you have more questions. I'm going to attach a digital question box in your notebook today where you can ask any question you have. You can say your name or not, and I'll answer all of the questions anonymously in class or in a video. And I want you to know there is no such thing as a stupid question. These are important things to learn, and I hope you can use me as a free resource. I'm also going to be sharing a list with you all of a few trustworthy, age-appropriate videos and books that you can look at if you want to explore and find out more. I hope you're walking away from this video today knowing a few things that maybe you didn't know before, and hopefully by knowing these facts, you'll feel a little bit more at ease as you begin or are already going through these changes in your own lives. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.